Do you have a dating deal breaker, disaster, or dilemma? Let's talk about it. Welcome to the Dating Diaries.
Happy Friday, ladies and gentlemen. Happy Friday, and welcome to the Dating Diaries. You know what?
Friday, y'all.
I didn't include our Instagram family.
Hey.
Let me see if I can get Instagram.
How many of y'all actually rock out with pajamas with us on Friday?
You know what? That's a good question. That's a really good question.
And if you do, if you don't mind, myself or Crystal, preferably Crystal, send Crystal the photo.
You saw where you were about to end up in a bad place.
Well, it was
not a bad place, but
I mean, you could, but I didn't want nobody to think I was trying to solicit negligee pictures, because that's not what I'm trying to do.
That's what it feels like is going to happen. I feel like it's going to be some women that say,
while it came out of my mouth, that's what I was preferred. That's what hit it. When I was saying it, it was coming to me, and I was like, I
felt it. Yeah.
Preferably, but if they're decent, you can send it to me, and we'll post them. Or I'm gonna wind up giving them to Crystal to post anyway. So you might as well just give them to her.
They're not gonna do it. They're gonna send them to you. The ladies. I mean, I guess as a man, if somebody asked you to send your pajama picture in, you probably send it to the woman, not the man, right?
Yeah.
See, I'm not gonna hold it against my sisters. They're just sending it to you because you're the man.
Yeah, but women, do you know how women is a little different?
Are we?
You compliment each other on stuff like, but this is not a compliment thing. I just want to see how many people rocking with us on that level.
Yeah, I do, because I try to make the thumbnails. They have our avatars have pajamas on.
Right.
Yeah.
Even on Wednesdays, I've seen. But
yeah, sometimes I'm doing the best I can. Okay.
No, I'm not complaining.
I'm doing the best I can. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. What's up, Be Mighty Rich? Tammy said, "You're not sending a pajama picture in, Tammy? Send in some pajamas. Are you in pajamas?
Don't do it, Tammy. I don't want you to do it. Let somebody else do it." What up, Jamal? Jamal's here early.
Jamal's here again. Oh, that's awesome. What's up, Jamal? We know Jamal's not.
Get the fellas in a little early. I like that. Appreciate it.
Yeah, we know Jamal's not wearing pajamas because he's actually working. Yeah. But we want to know, Tammy, are you in pajamas? Be Mighty Rich, are you in pajamas? Are people in pajamas, or are you all about to go out on the town and just stop in with us right before you go?
You know what? That's another thing too, because I know people watching from Midwest is an hour back from us on the East, and West is 3 or 4 hours back. So yeah, I get it.
There's some people that are probably not in pajamas, but for those of you that are you in full pajamas? Are you in your creek pajamas? Like Mo, you have the creek pajamas on again tonight.
The what?
What's up, Ipe? Bonjour, Ipe.
Oh,
the TLC pajamas. Okay. Jamal said he's in his pajamas drinking out some cognac. Yes. That's a grown man's drink. That's what that is. It's a grown man's drink.
Let the young people have the night.
I think so.
Young people have the night. You go out on Saturday or early Sunday on the day party, then be home by 7:30, 8 o'clock.
Yeah, where did I go? I went someplace recently. Monday, I went to Portia had a mixer, and I couldn't go to her birthday. Portia that we had on our show, right. And I couldn't go to the mixer. I couldn't go to her birthday, so I went to the mixer because it was the Monday after her birthday, and I got there like around 7:30. I was home in the bed by 10:30, and I was like, this is good fun. I liked it.
I'll take that.
Yeah, I felt good. Like I didn't do too much. There were just some people there. It was a little networking social. Everybody, talking about their businesses and, but it was not okay. Consumer O said just getting in from being in the streets. Got to change into pajamas now. Okay, we're welcome.
Wash your ass first, though. That's all you get. Just getting the pajamas from outside in the street.
Yeah, just put a little water, get a little water on it. A little water on it first. Hey, do guys have a version of a whole bath?
Different parts, but same thing.
Yeah. Same area. Same
area.
Yeah.
Hey, I seen a woman one time get it in one wipe, everything. He went from this winter rain. Pow!
That was not thorough. And how did you happen to see that?
I was trying to brush my teeth. But, yo, see like this? Bow!
Nah, that is, you need to rinse.
Another time where somebody took one of them bird baths and they left like the washcloth on the sink. And I go in the middle of the night to use the restroom, and then what don't smell like me. I'm like, then I tracked the sink, and it was like,
the washcloth smelled like her. I meant so I mean, she didn't do a good job. She did not do a thorough. See, that's what I'm saying. You need.
I was like, she just get finished playing basketball? Why?
Yikes! Now you need to soap it up. Get a good lather. Water, skin. Back to the water. Lather. Come again. You don't just
need to wash. You need to wash. It's a difference.
Get in there. You know what? I sent you a video today. Did you watch it?
Send me a few videos a day, nigga.
This lady was showing women of a particular size how to wash properly. Did you see that?
Unfortunately, I did.
I think the question was, did you still hit it? It sounded like he had already hit it.
No, I already hit it.
Yeah, I figured that. Did you notice that there was a tinge of must when you hit it?
No, I don't know. This is, after the workout and people freshen up and then get back in anyway. But I didn't like it.
Yeah. But there's a woman who was literally in the shower illustrating with her own self how people that may have folds or extra should wash. I'd never seen anything like it. I had to share it with love.
Because you got to figure, anytime two skins touch, you need to pay special attention to those areas.
Yeah, that's true.
So you got to lift up.
We get into the question. Okay, INC Intelligent Caveman has come in already in answering tonight's question. And let's just get into it. Thank you for starting that. We're going to get into it. Tonight's question, we got a lot to talk about with this one. We talk about things that happen before people are dating. Now, understand, this is specifically for people who are already in a relationship. Not people, not before.
That puts a different spin on it.
So listen to the question. Is it wrong to require your significant other, male or female, it doesn't matter who it is, because we all eat and we all gain weight, some more than others, to remain a certain size? Now, this is after you're married. So I'm going to play this video, and there's a woman here who's talking. Now, this is not the views of Dating Diaries. This is just something that we saw online that we wanted to have a conversation about, because I did see, and I couldn't find the woman's page. I did see that there was a woman. It's not the woman that's in this video. Hey, Lynn. There was a woman who was saying her husband was requiring her to lose weight. And so he was making her work out. He put her on a workout plan and a diet plan. And he was saying it was for her health. He wanted her to be happy. Now, the husband also came on and said, it's not that I'm unhappy with my wife. I love my wife. I want her to be healthy. I want her to be here. So I could not find that video. If I can, I'll post it later. But I couldn't find that one. So Mo and I had the conversation and I was like, well, I'm going to pull this video, but this video is not exactly like the one I saw. She's a little rough and we'll talk about it. But this is kind of how the conversation started.
Post says, my husband's birthday wish is for me to lose weight. So this is day one, right? Great. That is great for her. Okay. Go to the comments. What are the comments saying? Leave him. He needs to love you how you are. This is why they always say that single women keep women single, because what the fuck do you mean? Here's my thing. Okay. Being fat is definitely fucking preventable. Okay. Being fat is preventable. Being fat is fixable. Okay. We can't help that our titties gonna sag. We can't help that our skin is going to sag. We're going to get wrinkles and all this, that. We can't help that, but we can help being fucking fat as fuck. We can help that. Okay. And if he got with you when you were small and slim and you didn't have a couple kids and all this and that and the third, and then you just sitting on your ass every day, of course he's not going to be attracted to you. Because if he wanted to get with a fucking lazy fat bitch, he would have got with a lazy fat bitch and married her. But he didn't. He married you.
Okay, so I just want to say I don't like nothing that she had to say. She had a nasty attitude. We're talking about, and I don't agree with her either. We're talking about couples that are married, and if the husband, in that situation, the husband told the wife he wanted her to lose weight for his birthday. That's the only gift that he wanted. Now, question is to the chat. You guys, please chime in. Is it wrong? You guys start out, if you start out with her 6, 8, 10, and him 36, is it wrong if that person starts to move past that size, that you pull their tail and say, hey, I want you to lose weight? And is it wrong for you to, like, not just suggest it, but like impress upon them? Mo, what do you say?
This is tricky.
Is it?
Yeah, it is. It is tricky because I've said on this show, if I'm with a woman and it's official and I love her, then it is what it is. I can't see, because there's some women that I care for, and I seen other things and I really accepted it or was willing to. So the weight wasn't the one, but I can just imagine. I'm like, you look different than you did before, and I would assume I would, but it could be a health. It's like if they have I don't know, diabetes,
high blood pressure,
trigger a health issue. You see what I'm saying? You know, that kind of thing. And if they're doing it off of, depression or whatever it could be, because health is like you don't really equate it to vanity. But it really does. You think about some people who've passed, and a lot of it, some of it was due to health issues. So I can understand being concerned, but if you already have issues with big people, and then you're with someone and you're crossing your fingers hoping that they don't get that way, and then they do, and it's kind of like, you got to get somebody from the beginning that's very conscious of their image or figure. Yeah. If not, then listen, man.
But you know what?
Not in control of that.
Sometimes people that are conscious of their figure can go through something and become not so much. Like it just like how many people are, self-included, and I am still on my health journey. I've been going to the gym, actually I've been going to the gym every day, 5 days a week. But in high school and I was a cheerleader, so I don't look, I can't do any of that now. Like that doesn't mean just because you were at one point, and when you're a cheerleader, you have to weigh in, you have to weigh a certain amount. Well, we did. So It
You have
does.
to weigh, as a kid cheerleader, you had to weigh. Are you serious?
Yeah, you couldn't weigh over a certain amount. Yeah.
Wow, I didn't know they did that to them. Ooh, that's
But see,
kinda
we come
cool.
from a generation where they were hard on you. Like you couldn't. It wasn't no such thing as everybody's cool. Like, and I think that's a whole nother topic. But yeah, that back then it was not. It was very.
I mean, I know they did it in male sport. I didn't know they did it in cheerleading. So that's why I was kind of okay.
If you want to actually like compete and like.
Oh, the competitive cheer. Okay, the track.
No, I mean, your high school wanted to,
I didn't know.
present a certain way. But I'm gonna play this video of this couple that was on Good Morning America. I thought this was a beautiful story. As we continue to have this conversation about how do people change, how do you deal with that? Is there a right way? Is there a wrong way to deal with it? And what would you do if you were in that situation? Because sometimes it can be easier to speak from the outside, and then you actually get in that situation where you go through something and things change.
Best part about it.
For Camille and Marlon Jones, weight loss has always been a struggle.
We were in denial for a very long time about how far we let ourselves go.
When the scales tipped to nearly 700 pounds combined for the Joneses, they decided the best way to get fit would be to do it together.
We've realized that working together as a team was going to be our biggest thing. I kind of took over the fitness, and Camille kind of took over the nutrition aspect of it.
Introducing healthy whole foods and just kind of having a balance between it so we could make a better relationship with food.
The couple kicking off their wellness lifestyle in May, each doing runs throughout the month that totaled up to 50K.
And that was kind of the first thing that proves us that we can do this. It's sky's the limit. You can do anything.
For Marlon and Camille, pushing each other has made the weight loss journey fun.
And having that journey together, it's been a great part. It's been the best part about it.
Together, the Joneses have lost close to 200 pounds.
Don't count yourself out. Don't doubt yourself. Try it before you say you can't do it. And most of the time, you'll find out you can.
Well, here they are before. And now time for the big reveal. Let's see Camille and Marlon. Look at how you two. You both, you look incredible.
I like that story.
I like that. I will say Marlon need to get a mustache a big because I didn't know which one was Marlon or Camille at first. But in any case, he threw me off.
And he also it's crazy because in that video you see the two of them working, and then one person's progress was faster than the other person's progress.
Yeah,
and that can happen sometimes. I do think it's easier when both people want to get get in shape together. That's a little bit easier. That both of them were bigger. I remember when I was when I got married early on, because you're a kid, your body changes a lot from your 20s to those 30s. Because 30s you're like working a job, you're not out running around, being as active. You're like doing work. So I remember a friend of ours, a married couple that got married in college as well, got to like the late 20s, early 30s, and they both were just sitting home eating. They had a baby, and I remember the husband was. They came to visit us, and the husband was standing in front of the mirror, had his arm around his wife, and they were looking in the mirror, and he was like, "We look like two stuck pigs." And she was like, so when I opened the door, she had tears in her eyes. And I was like, what's wrong? And she was like, he just said that we both look like two stuck pigs. They had gained a considerable weight, but his insensitivity to how she would feel, even though he did lump himself in with her, it was a funny thing. But because I was just like, no, you don't look like.
I seen a couple come to a fight party dressed in the same colors. And they came, and people were like, "Y'all look nice." And the woman said, "Why? Because we both fat." they both were a little overweight, but that's when people see stuff like that, be like, "Y'all look nice." You know what I mean? I don't know.
Well, but she had a better sense of humor than my friend, who was very, very sensitive. And I think it just depends. I do want to say this. It is harder, usually, not in that case that we just saw, the woman was able to lose more weight than the man. But you see how you look so much different. That's why it's such a weird thing, because weight can make you look a lot like a total different person. It can make your skin a different shade. It can make your obviously your face a different shape. Just everything, your features. I saw this post. This guy was like, "You're not ugly. You're just fat." And I was like, "Okay."
Hey, when they show some of the pictures of the women, that he'd be like, "Okay, I would probably talk to her like this." Well, it's shocking.
It is. Another thing that's shocking, that's not anything that we're talking about today, but men and their hair. And I know they can't help it, but men look totally different with a full head of hair than when they go bald. So I can understand. That'd be for another day. But anyway, tonight we're talking about the size. What I was saying is that women, it's harder for women to lose weight. Specifically, as I'm learning, once you get to a certain age, the weight, they say that, no. And I thought it was BS. I did think that it was just some BS. Everybody thinks that they're going to be different. But the reality is, Mo, it's not. It's just, this is a bad place to be. 40s.
Well, obviously, she did it better than him.
Well, I don't think she's not in the perimenopause, menopause probably.
Oh, that part. I mean, by that time, if you're married 20-something years, I don't think he's.
I mean, how big are you going to get, though?
That's why, as the journey goes, this is what you do with the back. You do like this. To come back 2 months later, do like this.
Well, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do if the back keeps getting bigger? Is it fair to say, hey, is that husband said all I want for my birthday is you to work out? Is that wrong? Do you guys think it's wrong? Put it in the chat if you think it's wrong for a husband or a wife to say, I want you to lose weight in order to make me happy.
I mean, you can put your request in. It don't mean it's wrong.
No, but I know some, and I do have a friend, and we both know this friend that I had that I'm not friends with anymore. But her ex-husband would make her weigh, and he would go to the grocery store with her, and if she put something in the cart that he didn't feel like she needed, he would take it out. He would make her show him the groceries. Like he was.
That's insane.
Yeah,
that's cruel.
Asshole.
That's cruel.
But there are a lot.
You're right about that, Tammy.
Yeah, it is, Tammy. I'm struggling, and but yeah, it is. I think that's cruel. He was hateful. You know what I mean, to her after she had a child. And this wasn't even. We were in our 30s at this point. Not even at the. I can't even imagine what he would have been at this point. But at that point, it was because she had just had 2 babies. And we know women.
His babies on top of it, right?
His baby. Yeah, they were his baby.
See, that's the thing.
Yeah.
That's the thing when it's yours, because I've heard women be like, well, I had kids. I'm like, they not my kids, though. I'm sorry.
Monique says, I'm currently dating my ex from 20 years ago, and he's gained over 100 pounds.
What?
I still love him, but yes, I would like for him to lose weight for health reasons.
There you go.
That's good. But 100 pounds, that is a lot of extra weight. And that's to me, the scary thing is, yes, as we get older, it is harder to lose weight. But also as we get older, weight has it is dangerous. We know a lot of people that have lost their life because
they say more men pass away from those health issues on weight than women.
Well, because men carry their weight most men carry their weight in their belly. So that belly fat is very, very, very dangerous. There's some women do, but mostly men, most men, specifically, we're talking about people of color, they'll carry that beer belly, that really hard beer belly is really dangerous.
In these fried foods, man, I tell people, I get it, it's cool, but that cholesterol and all that, it's a real thing. The baked stuff is a real thing. Please be careful.
I air fried my food. Yeah, we gotta look for other options. But I also
everything
think like
moderation.
Yeah, moderation and just making sure you stay active. PTWYT says weight in men may come with high blood pressure, and that means a limp.
Yep.
I hope men are willing to lose weight for a good sex life. I think that's a good thing to talk about, and specifically because, of course, we are sponsored by Uber Lube, who wants all of you to have an amazing sex life. But I don't necessarily know that men see it like that. Let's ask the spokesperson for the gentleman's council. Do men feel a responsibility to deliver in the bedroom after a certain age? Because I've heard a lot of men say, okay, I've heard a lot of men say that they're like, hey, I'm not going to be able to there was an Instagram meme. I don't know if I sent it to you, but the guy was like, I have no desire to go 4 rounds with you at this point in my life. I'm good for
in
one.
Night?
Yes. He said, I'm
not doing that shit.
What are you
And
doing?
All right.
What is it? What, okay. He said he said he was doing one, he was going to sleep, and he wasn't going to worry about it.
Unless it's a birthday or holiday, Martin Luther King weekend, something like that, yes. I gotta work.
It's a civil rights
weekend. It's a good 1 round. 1.5 depends.
It's a civil rights weekend. You get a little extra. But I mean, I wonder do men equate their health to being able to deliver more? Like, do you think?
Can I tell you this? And forgive me to all my Southern brothers. The guys up north, I notice, compare it to the guys in the South. Yes.
Okay.
Because they don't want to let go of. It's gotten better.
It's the machismo.
The Southern
foods,
food, like they
the gravy
and they
the smothered pork chops.
Yeah,
and
but
gravy?
what it is you'll hear, and I've heard this before. My grandmother been eating pork and doing all this, and she's fine. She lived to be such and such, age and all this other stuff, and I hear it. But I think the guys up north trade more information and talk about it, and then there's certain religions that more of them practice there. That diet, even when you talk to the Minister Farrakhan and studies, like diet is a big part of what they do, what you put in your body. You know what I mean? In the South, it's and it's not a shot to them, but I just think it's just a little bit more. And obviously, I'm generalizing. It's not everyone.
Right. But just the culture kind of shifts more.
Yeah. The food and the lard and the this and the pig, all these stuff. They cut up the whole pig and eat it. It's like, and it's not just that. It's the fried stuff. It's a lot of things, and you gotta really be. But the guys up north, it came through religion and it came through other things.
Possibly going to jail and
no, I was going to say, even in the the system up there, the federal system or just the state system in jail, but they got it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because when they go, then they come back and they teach the young ones. But I don't think men equate it to. I don't feel like men equate it to what they have to be able to perform. Because even like smoking weed and drinking a lot can also affect
excessive drinking.
Drinking and smoking can affect your libido as your ability to perform as well.
On top of naturally your testosterone drops anyway.
Your testosterone does drop. So today my HVAC guy came to my house and I had a conversation with him about. It's funny because we ended up talking about just food and how food is, affecting us. And he said that he had gout, hookah and marijuana as well. Hookah, I think, may be worse than marijuana. But he said that he had gout. He was a younger guy, probably like in his early 40s, if that, not from America. And he said that his wife, he had gained a lot of weight because of his job, very sedentary job. And so he changed jobs, but his wife said, we're going to get healthy. So she didn't necessarily say you have to lose weight, but she started doing things to change the way the food that she cooked, that she prepared for him. And she started doing things to help. So I thought that was a good way. And I've heard Minister Farrakhan say that too. Like if you, as opposed to being belittling your partner and making them go to the gym, because we know that the gym is not going to do anything if your eating habits are bad. So why not, if you really want to help your partner, change the way the household eats, right? And not in a way like my friend's ex was doing, where he was like shaming her over what was in food, but like, you know, making it something that we do together. Like,
and the subtle changes, I think
right.
The shock stuff, that's what scares people.
Yeah.
And whatever you take, like, you switch out things,
mm-hmm.
you know,
mm-hmm.
instead of, you know, cooking with, so, or use olive oil.
Mm-hmm.
You do subtle things and build up to it. I think when people just jump into it cold turkey and then they try it, they shut down real quick, opposed to, like I said, just subtle things and replacing. Instead of this, try this. Instead of, you know, that kind of thing.
It adds up. It adds up over a period of time, and it also it makes it more of like a partnership. I want to show you guys this video. This is a slide. So this is a couple that initially, a lot of people online, it's crazy. People online bully all the time. We know that. So this couple, the woman was overweight, and the guy that she was with was not. And people talked about, why is he with her? Why is he with her? He never treated her that way. And look at this video. You'll see kind of the transition of what happened with the two of them. That was crazy. It looked like maybe let me look at it one more time. Hold on. It just looked like she got a BBL, but I guess it wasn't a BBL. It was all that she had before was just left in certain places, and it stayed in the right place. She did come out great. Jamal says she came out great.
Yes, she did. Hey man, like
Monique says, I do believe a tummy tuck was involved in that. That's why I had to watch it again, because I was like, but you could tell her face, she did lose weight because.
Well, let's say, what if she had the extra skin and that was the reason for the tummy tuck? I'm not mad if you do that.
Well, I mean, you could do it regardless, because you still have to.
I get it, but
even if you get a tummy tuck, you still have to. The rest of her was small, and then it was just splash.
That's what makes me think it was extra skin and stuff. Maybe not just, you know.
Could have been. They put it there also. So they put it there. I don't think so. I think that was just her, because that looked like because she looked like she had a cute shape. She was just overweight. And a lot of times when people are at that level, they are depressed, or you never know. That would definitely have extra skin. Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking.
It could be, but that's that man loved her through it. So and that probably wasn't. I don't think that you can lose weight with somebody who is being hateful to you. I think that you have much better outcome if it's somebody that is supporting you and is loving you regardless. Not like, my love is conditional on this.
Well, yeah. Hopefully that's what people do, but I'm learning that's not what people do. I mean, people are conditional. But can we talk about the people who lose the weight, then change their attitude, and they don't want to be in the relationship?
That has happened a whole lot.
You see
That
what I'm
has
saying?
happened a lot.
Like that's the other side to it that doesn't get talked about enough to me.
Mm-hmm. That's
you know,
true.
the person gets to that space and they find this new sense of confidence and attention.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And
I know a
they
situation
project
like
it
that.
onto their partner, and now they don't want to be in that situation. You know, they loving this. It's a new world to them.
Yeah, I know a situation like that. And actually, you know the person too. They were big. They had a small partner, very small partner, and then the partner was with them, loved them for them, didn't care about the weight. Even when other people probably said negative things about them because of it, the partner never agreed. And I think that's a real man. I have a problem with men who want a woman based on what other men want for them. That's weird.
People do it all the time, though.
They do.
Even when you get someone, they be like, they normally don't tell you until it's over. At least for men.
What do they
it's
say?
Like, yeah, she wasn't all that bad. I thought you would have been with some.
Whole
time. I've seen that.
Yeah, Jamal, that's true. He says the same as getting some money. The real them shows up. I know. So
that was the other side. I'm glad you said that because that's what I was thinking. You know, and that happens on both sides as well.
Yeah, we're gonna get into that and just. In fact, that's funny. That's the second part of tonight's conversation. But in this situation, it was the woman, and she was big. She lost the weight through a lot of medical stuff, and then for the first time in her life, because she grew up chubby, for the first time in her life, in her mid-30s, she ended up being extremely desirable. She was getting hit on by a lot of different men, and this man that she was now married to and had been with her from when not only did because it was a gradual upgrade. First it was the money, the clothes. Then when you lose weight, you can start dressing different, the hair different. Like it just went from all of that, where he just looked the same because he had always been an attractive guy. He didn't necessarily need to upgrade. He was already ready already. She started to upgrade, and then she started getting attention from people that she had never gotten attention from. And that resulted in her having an extramarital affair. So, but and that goes both ways. So my
no. Hey, dude, get some money,
or even a guy, because I know guys. If you grew up a chubby guy that didn't really get a lot of attention from women because of how you look, and then all of a sudden you start. I have a friend that said this. He was like, you go in a store and women are just looking at you. For you, you ain't got to say nothing to them. You ain't got to make them laugh. You ain't got to buy them nothing. That's a different type of power.
Especially if you never grew, you didn't grow up getting that kind of attention.
That's
and now at 30-something years old, late 30s, you get this newfound.
And now you got to figure out how to stay. How do you know who you are with that body? I know for women, if you have a nice body, it's not much you can't get, especially in the South. And probably anywhere in the moment. Now, you may not be able to get a husband, or you probably can too, but a nice body, because it automatically makes it opens the door for a lot. So if you've never had that experience and then all of a sudden you get it, that's rough. I've never been in that situation to where it was that extreme, but I have seen people go through it and they're like, nobody wanted me before. Now they enjoy the attention, but deep down they kind of resent the person.
It's like newfound fame at a certain. I saw someone. Can I say their name?
Don't say their name.
It was somebody famous. It's a famous rapper here.
Okay.
Right. But I saw him yesterday, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I saw him again today, and I forgot he transformed a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Now he can't keep his clothes on.
Who is that? Tell us.
Can I say it?
Yeah.
Young Jock. I just saw a clip of him Now he has a whole fitness segment on his Instagram. Keep the shirt off. It's no different than the woman, his newfound body, and all of a sudden her back and stomach is out on. I was seeing a chick kind of off and on, and she had something was on her stomach. She, put it this way, she kept her shirt on for everything, but she got it fixed. Now she can't put on a shirt.
What is happening? Like, I am so, oh my God, I did not know this was happening.
What's that?
I just went to the Young Jock's page.
There you go, right there.
First of all, on behalf of the Council of Women, I would just like to say that we did not ask for this. None of us. If you did ask for it, put it in the chat. But I don't think any of us asked for this. What is happening?
Oh boy!
I'll tell you what, Usher and Chris Brown. Chris Brown has made a lot of that, putting the pressure on men. Yeah, I don't necessarily know that. I mean, let me not say that. He does look good. He looks nice. I don't know that we asked for that, but oh my God! I mean, he is feeling himself.
Right. But and that's what that was my point. It's like, you know, I've seen, because I don't want to all put it on the ladies. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Guys get in there and get in a new space and want to live in that space for a minute. Even
what is happening?
You see what I'm saying? Can't keep a shirt on that.
He does look totally different. His face looks totally different. Not really.
That's what I noticed yesterday when I said that's how I was like, his face got sunken in. He got all that and whatever. But
Monique, you're gonna be careful, Monique.
He done walked in the restaurant with a tank top on.
He is out doing a whole conversation with not only a shirt off, but with his pants down low.
Then they have it low so you can see. You know how to go.
Showing the dip. Now he is still married.
You 40-something years old, married, running. Come on, man.
If you couldn't be faithful when you was, he's back in the.
Told you.
Same thing. Thank you, Scorpio Mo. That proves that it's not just because men always want to talk about how women start acting crazy, but it's men too. It's attention.
The men too.
Monique says she's going to see the R&B tour. Monique, be careful. Don't eat any cherries that you don't know where they came from.
He said he's not doing that this time.
Well, don't let Chris Brown lick you.
He is doing that, and he kissing ladies in the mouth. I heard Chris Brown.
Well, let me not say that. If that comes to you, Monique, and you want to enjoy it, you go ahead. Okay, you just said you're in a relationship, but I don't know what you're okay with and what you're not. I don't know if you can get a pass or not, but just be careful. We're getting ready to get to that. So Alpha, the first one, says, how would someone enforce the weight requirements? Thank you for asking that. So what is happening in some situations is some people give their significant other an ultimatum. If you don't lose the weight, I'm leaving. As this guy did it, I know. There's another situation on Instagram where the man told the woman that he wanted her to lose weight, and he's like making her do workouts. Like he's making her schedule. Everybody's relationship dynamic is different. Sometimes some people, the man leads, some men lead with an iron fist. Others, may not have that option, but just the constant berating, and like I said, some people put an ultimatum on people. Like, if you don't lose the weight, I'm going to leave. There was a situation where, if you guys know about Miss Ernestine is a woman who started around her 50s, but she inspired me to.
Oh, yeah. She out of Florida, correct?
Yes.
She has the vegetables. She's like 70-something years old.
And she only eats raw vegetables. Yeah. And she's a bodybuilder. Her body looks amazing. And
you see her husband. Well, obviously her husband didn't join.
Her husband did not join.
He looks 80-something.
He does. He looks the age that they are, because they are in their early age. But I talked to her because a client of mine wanted to meet her, and we talked to her, And she said that she made the decision because a lot of people, we all realize the food is killing us, right? But she made the decision to try it. She started feeling better, but he said he didn't want to. Now, they had been married for years, I think over like 20 or 30 years. Yeah. So she wasn't going to leave her husband. So they stayed together, but you can see they don't even look like they belong together. They look very unequally yoked. I'm sure Miss Ernestine is faithful, but that's another thing. You guys know to Alpha, the first one who said, how would you enforce that? There are some men that will use, some men and probably women, I'm just speaking on men, that will use that as an excuse of why they stepped out on their marriage. I was faithful.
But can I say this? I've heard of women withholding sex because of how they felt about themselves.
Yeah, I've done that before.
And then it's like, and I'm not saying that's a good excuse, but he uses that excuse. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. I do think I felt like that before. It was like after my kids, after I had my son, I got on the Depo-Provera shot. And I don't know, if those of you that are in my age group, you probably remember the Depo-Provera shot came out probably when we were in our 20s, mid-20s, 30s. And so
I remember that.
And what it was a shot that you could get and then you wouldn't have a period, you couldn't get pregnant. So I was married, I didn't want to have another baby. And so I got the shot. So I remember I started gaining weight so fast and I was young, so I had my son at 24. And this was after I had my son. I started gaining weight so fast. I was so depressed. And when you as a woman, if you are, if you love your husband and you're trying to be a good wife, I didn't want to be unattractive to him. And I felt really bad about it. I wasn't sure what was going on because I wasn't eating more, but I was gaining weight at a rapid pace. And I did not feel like I wanted to be intimate at all during that time. And so Jamal said I had my ex get off that back in the day. He told me too. My ex told me as well. He actually did some research and he was like, it's the shot. It's making you gain weight because it would make me extremely hormonal. It would make me mean like the first 3 days. You get it. And it's a surge of hormones into your system. And I gained 40 pounds, and I'm a short person. So 40 pounds on a 5'2" frame, even after not losing the baby weight, it was really bad. But I felt better. So I stopped getting the shot and then I was able to get the weight back under control. But during that time, it wasn't that I was trying to withhold sex. Not like I was trying to do it to hurt, that person. Right. It was because I didn't feel good about myself. And I think to a certain extent, in order to have a really healthy, intimate life, you have to feel confident with yourself in some way.
Is there a weight capacity for women or for you?
What do you mean?
Could there be a point where it's be like, it's too much?
For him to be too big?
Yeah.
Or me to be too big?
No, him.
Yeah. I couldn't. I wouldn't be able to breathe. If you're depending on what you're doing and who you're with and what you are, yeah.
See, that's what I'm like. Mine is like if I'm folding laundry and pennies is this size, I'm cool. What pennies get like this? I'm not.
I think it, but I wondered. Let me ask this to the chat because I want to ask this question that you asked Jamal in a minute. C-Dub, what's good? What's good? My question is does it affect the physical chemistry if your partner gains weight?
Yes, I will. I'm gonna go on the record and say yes. I think I told you a story, and it was somebody I knew back in '94. Wasn't like that.
Mm-hmm.
Bumped back into him. They went to LA, came back, had a child. I bumped into him at the grown folks of all places.
Okay.
30 and up spot.
Okay.
And seen him. I kind of noticed it was kind of dark. But I seen him. I didn't know exactly, but a week later we got intimate, and it just wasn't. I couldn't. It was bothering me.
Oh wow.
It was bothering me. It was a lot. It was a lot. I mean, not a lot. It was a lot for me, but just.
So just the visual.
Yeah, well, the frame of it, the feel of it. It wasn't even so much of the visual, because I could close my eyes.
Oh.
But I can't make my hands numb. It's a lot. It was
all right,
more than
people are saying, yeah, Alpha says yes. Monique says yes. So Monique, we're gonna
See?
pray for you that the situation that you're in, that you're able to encourage him. I think that some of these couples, I pulled some of these videos. You see couples like this working out together. I think that's the best way to do it. I think it's super cute when
I
couples do it together. Here's one more.
You up at night. That thing that bothers you, man, that makes you trip. You can't quit thinking about it. You always that thing, man, that you wake up in the middle of the night, you got a new idea. That's what you got to chase. Because anything else, it's gonna disappoint you.
Following your dreams is a lonely, solitary, scary, dangerous pursuit. You can't wait for somebody to think you can do it.
You're gonna forever be sad, man. If you don't chase that dream, you're gonna forever be miserable, man.
If you give up on your dreams, what do you have left? Nothing.
You got to be willing to risk everything to become that seed of what you believe is in there. You got to be fearless. You got to be relentless.
Yeah. So, this reminds me of something. That reminded me of something. I will say this, because in those situations, those ladies were a little bit different than their partners, right? Their partners obviously stay in the gym all the time. There was a time that I dated a bodybuilder. Now, so the guy reached, he hit on me. He saw what I look like. I don't look like a bodybuilder. I was definitely, it was years before this, so I was a little, smaller, but I wasn't skinny by any means, right? Always been thick. So, we started dating, and he was a bodybuilder, like for real, like competitions, competing in shows and everything, right? So he would be preparing his meals, because it's super intense. I didn't realize how intense it was. And we were, starting to date. And so we would be around each other. He'd be preparing his meals. We'd go out to eat. He could only eat certain things. We'd only go certain places. And at first, everything was fine. Then as time went on, he started to ask me, he was like, you know what? He was starting to ask me to eat the way he was eating. And he suggested, he was like, if you lose, 20 pounds, you'll be, it's just 20 pounds. And I was like, well, why did you get with me if you weren't happy with what I look like? If you want to lose 20 pounds, he was like, he would call me princess, and irritate the crap out of me, because that way he would say it in a very condescending way. Well, princess, if you're great now, 20 pounds more, just make it even better. And I was like, I don't want to eat steamed chicken, though. I don't want to. It's the way that he presented it. And because he was so extreme, and he was so into like how his body looked when he would like do the process. Yeah. But I don't understand why he would hit on me and then try to make me look like him. That's weird. And I know a lot of guys that are bodybuilders and gym freaks, because I, unfortunately, for a while, dated a few of them. They always would say that they were good, and they always come after the soft, curvy girls. And then they always want you to do what they're doing afterwards. Not to that level. He was the only person that like really like try to.
Do you think they saw potential and wanted to? You see what I'm saying? Or what they thought was potential, and what they can make it, because it starts with the guys that I know that have been like that, and then it's almost like a project.
Wow.
You see what I'm saying? Like they get a kick out of, like if anybody's ever went to a personal trainer, one of the first things they do is they get you on a scale and then they look at you and be like, yeah, I could work with that. They know what they could work with and get into, the time frame. So do you think that was, I mean, obviously he liked you, so that was the plus to it as well. And it's a reason to be around. You see what I'm saying? Extra, this is date, we're working together. That's why you really got to enjoy, if you do that, even if it's not someone like that, someone you enjoy being around. Because if you ever seen the flip side of that and it doesn't work, I've seen a woman get mad, like, and like arguing in the gym.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure. because I feel this is what I feel. Now, Consumer says she experienced the same thing when she dated a power lifter. It actually helped kick off a lifetime of healthy living for me. That's a good case scenario, right? That's the best case scenario. And I think if it was presented in a different way, I think because I was already kind of hesitant because, of course, if you're out to eat with somebody who was constantly eating chicken, eggs, and vegetables only, then you're not going to feel comfortable eating really anything outside that's not healthy. I didn't, right? Because I just, especially if you're the girl, like this is your man's plate. It comes back and it was chicken, baked, broiled, or steamed chicken, eggs, and vegetables, and then you have
your plate got
right. I couldn't do that. I was like,
right.
But
right.
I also feel so I was kind of on edge with him, and he was trying so hard to ingratiate our lives, and I was just like, I don't necessarily want this lifestyle. Like I didn't want to live like that. Like the way they live specifically before a competition is crazy to me. I didn't want to live like that. Yeah, I didn't. I just like the fact that when I saw him, I was just like, I like setup, but I didn't like that other stuff. And the chemistry, the physical chemistry, he seemed to feel like everything was. He never seemed like he had a problem with it. But then it was like, oh, lose 20 pounds and everything would be even better. So I felt like if I lost 20 pounds, it was going to be like, now let's get you ripped up. And now, and I probably would have wanted to do that because I of course, everybody has weight goals for themselves or what they want for themselves, but I just didn't want it in that way. If I had somebody that just wanted to work out with me and we could have fun, but it felt like you need to do this. This is going to be best for you.
When you got somebody that's their thing.
Yeah.
They treat it a little. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I don't want that. I did not date any more of those after that. I do not. I see them and they all seem to like curvy girls,
Yeah.
And then they all, so they come and I had a weakness, but I repelled the weakness because
I'm starting to think it might be they look at those women they like. They're attracted to them and it's a project.
You think they want to fix us?
But then you will love him even more that the fact that you got to this space of how your body is. You're gonna love your body. You're gonna thank him because of it.
But I'm like, there's a lot of this particular guy ended up being that person. He was already in a relationship, which I didn't know about, with another girl who was a bodybuilder. So I was like, just stay with a bodybuilder. Why come and get a girl that's not? I don't know if she was always a bodybuilder before she met him. That'd be something.
Right.
Yeah, a project to them. Well, I don't want to be anybody's project. So in that regard, I would not want to be a project. Now, if somebody said, once you know that they really love you unconditionally, I think, you have a great frame. I think that that would be different if it's like, okay, let's do it together, as opposed to you're trying to make me into something that you want me to be. And I don't necessarily want to be that, that's different. So Jamal asked a question earlier that said, men, just like for that situation, that man was willing to like make me his project and like invest. I'm sure if I showed interest, he would have done everything he could have to help me get to the place I want to be. He asked, why don't women do the same thing with men? But I think in the chat, you guys, please let me know what you think. Instagram too, if you guys are there, and you can chime in. Let me know if you agree. I do think that a lot of women treat men like a project. I think a lot of times, now it may not necessarily be with weight. I've never seen women try to do a project with a man for weight, but as far as like his job,
I think you'll be good as such and such.
Yeah.
Get him a resume together, whatever, change the way he dressed, all that. I've seen all that.
Yeah. I think women do that. Jamal, you haven't had that experience?
They definitely do.
I think women like a project. I don't think it's come, because I also think women are more likely to accept a man for his physical form, just not his, maybe his financial or the way he presents. Like you want to clean somebody up or,
I saw this thing, I think it was today.
You get it, Monique. We're believing with you. This is going to work.
And it was like certain women pick men that aren't that attractive on purpose.
Medium ugly.
And the reason why they were explaining, this is just their theory. It's not mine. This is just theirs. It was like, because they said if they picked up a really attractive man, they have to compete with more women.
Yes.
Or, it was all in that vein, like just competing with women. It was just everything. And I was like, wow. So it's not even, you're attracted to them, but you don't want to have to deal with what comes with that. So you'll treat, but it was also saying, but she'll cheat with that guy, but she might not necessarily settle because, and I was like, wow, that's interesting. I think it was today I saw that. Yeah.
I had a friend actually come and tell me, I thought this was crazy. A friend who was a little bit older than me, a couple of years older than me. And she told me that when she met my husband, she was shocked that I would want to be with someone that looked like him because it was going to be difficult with the women. She was like, I don't want all that energy. I don't know why. You got the energy to put up with all that. And she's a beautiful woman. She said that her guy is not that attractive. He's fair to middling. That's what I call him. He's fair to middling. He's tall, but take it or leave it, kind of forgettable. But she said that was a lot more manageable. And she was like, I don't want to deal with what you're gonna deal with. Now, at the time I started dating my husband, I never thought that, but I have learned since being with him what some women were talking about. There are a lot of women, but I also think that if you date a man that's successful, there's going to be a lot of women too, because women like success.
And that's when they said, I'm glad you said that, because that was the other part. So she said, if a man, let's say he's successful, has money, and then he has good, she was like, that's the reason why she was like, you'll see a man, you be like, I know you're not, because they'll automatically put these tags on you, player and all these things because of what's attracted to you, but they never bother to ask what's attractive to him.
But I don't know if it matters, because sometimes men be with women that they're not necessarily attracted to just for the moment.
Yeah, I mean, until the thing he is attracted to comes along.
Maybe.
Use it, you'll lose it.
I do know this, and because I was never taught that. My mom always taught me get what you like, and that's what I did. But I've had a few female friends. That one sat me down and was like, "Girl, this is too much. I don't know why you're doing this." But there have been others that have told me that in another way. Like, I know one girl's like, "Oh, you're going to have to deal with some cheating because look at your man." And I'm like, and I think it's just because of his skin tone more than anything. He is attractive, but I think it's mostly there's a stereotype with a man who is fair-skinned for some reason.
That's still, I mean,
yeah,
I know it still exists in the male department, like how guys.
Oh, females, hell yeah.
And one of the ways you could tell is when people describe people to you.
Mm-hmm.
If they turn around and say, "Hey," if it's the words that they drag out are the words they're trying to emphasize to bring you in.
The one they put
light skin.
Yeah.
And the words
yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
And they
Money,
do.
you know,
Yeah,
they
do. They with my husband. They don't even mention the fact that he's tall. It's like he light skinned. He got that good hair, and I'm like, but see, because for me, good hair was not. First of all, I don't believe there's any such thing as good hair. I hate that. I hate that. But unfortunately, some of us are still asleep. Some of us in our culture are still asleep and still ascribe to that. I've actually been in a store. This woman's like, "Well, I got good hair," and I was like, "There's no such thing, ma'am."
Well, that always shocks me when people who have curly or wavy hair refer to themselves as having good hair. That's, you know, I was always told, my aunt, she was like, what did she say? She said, long as it's clean and it's combed, is good hair.
That is, and it's just it's healthy.
Like,
that's it.
Get caught up into that other stuff.
Because really, it just means what you're really saying when they say that, it irritates me, is that it's hair that is influenced by Caucasians or another culture. That's what it is. Like that
part.
But that I've heard a lot of women say that in terms of my husband. But my husband is the first man I've dated. Well, seriously dated. There was that one mistake that was Puerto Rican, but that was an accident. But he really is the only person I dated that was like that. So I didn't realize that women still really, really value that like crazy.
Hey, if you grew up in the late 70s, early 80s, and you're 10 years old, 1980 or whatever, that was, they made a big deal. I remember spending summers like right outside.
I'll be sure of it all.
Before that, like this was still, my whole family on my father's side all had Jerry curls. All of them, even him, right? All of them. So me and my sister would go for the summer, and we didn't look like the rest of them.
Yeah.
From my mother's side. So it was like the young girls were paid. This was when the Barge just came out. All this love. Yeah. And the girls would say that. That's when I didn't hear it when I lived in a very diverse, because everybody was mixed with something while I was living in Connecticut. But going there, it was just black. And everybody had so bad that I wanted a Jerry curl. And I already had curly because everybody else had.
Wow. Beautiful hair is it's the brainwashing. I think some people you can have beautiful hair, but when you associate beautiful hair with straight hair, that's a problem. I see people that have straight hair that are beautiful, and I see people that have kinky hair that's beautiful. Like
I've seen people who have other people's hair that are beautiful. Just thought I'd put that in there because I want all y'all sisters to know.
And that's not even true. If it's someone else's hair, no. I'm not saying a weave can't look good because there are some.
No, I'm just saying your face, because I'm a face guy.
What do you mean other people's hair? I hate you. Anyway, where are we going? Where are we at?
You know what I mean.
How did we get here?
It's still beautiful.
Anyway, point is, I don't think that you should. I think you should get what you like. And if you like it, is fine. But for women to feel like you have to get a medium ugly guy. Now, I say what I don't like. I never liked a pretty boy because I don't like a guy who's super over the top, focused on his looks. That to me is very unattractive to me. There are some girls that like it, cool. But if he's like in the mirror and taking selfies, and I don't like that. So I would never be with a guy. And I used to associate that with like a look that looked like Genuine. Like Genuine was never on my wall. I like the songs, but any man that cuts his suit out to show his abs and has baby hair, I ain't like
they brush with a toothbrush right here.
Yeah, it came to a. That was a little too much for me. But we know that girls love Genuine. Genuine was definitely a heartthrob. Me, I was more like the Denzel Washington or even Michael Jordan. I wasn't into that. But I do understand that we all like different stuff. And I think that for you to pick something that you don't necessarily like physically because you're afraid. I have a parable. Well, actually, it's a fairy tale. It's an old wives' tale. One of my friends, I actually referenced her earlier. She was the same one that had the husband that would make her show him the calories on the side of the box at the store. After she divorced that husband, she got with the guy who was ugly. He literally looked like Shrek. And she said, I'm going to get with him because when I'm with him, it looks like we are Beauty and the Beast. And she thought that he would never cheat on her because he was so ugly and she was so pretty, and she thought that she was safe. He was spinning that ish on her, and everything seemed fine. However, that troll ended up cheating on her, and then she wasn't heartbroken. She was insulted. She was incensed because what I've learned is the ugly ones will cheat too.
Well, what she did was upgraded him. If a non-attractive man is with a very attractive woman, he's going to get women. Women attract pretty women, attractive women attract women.
Well, also men with money attract women. Well, yeah, I mean, any man who could buy you courtside seats to the basketball game every week is going to attract women. And what she thought,
he's with a pretty woman and he's going to the game, and then the next time with that pretty woman, then he shows up without that pretty. It's like, where's that pretty? It's something about him other than the money, because it's like, how did you get? I'm curious. That makes man. Listen.
Well, what happened is she found out he was cheating, and then she was befuddled of how he could. She thought that he was going to be like, I got the baddest chick. But unfortunately, she learned that men are not grateful. They have no sense of gratitude. And he was not grateful to her for getting him out of the dungeon, rescuing him from the castle. He was not grateful. He cheated on her. And then she was like, damn, now I've been cheated on by an ugly man. Do you know what that does to your self-esteem? It's horrible.
Well, it already did something to your self-esteem, that the fact that you talked to him because he was ugly. That says everything about you.
Well, I don't know if that did something to her self-esteem, but the fact that he cheated on her, she was she couldn't believe, how dare he have the audacity looking like he looks.
That's what she gets.
No, don't say
you went after that because of how you felt and how you wanted to fill up. So you did. Come on, man.
Yeah, but there's that soul saying is like, they say that like you get with a man that likes you more because of how men are. So she felt like she was doing that by getting with an unattractive man. It was going to be a man that liked her more. It didn't work. And I feel like this, like I said, it's an old wives' tale. To Tammy's point, Jay-Z cheated on Beyonce.
They are. You name one of these chicks that didn't get from the Nia Long, all the chicks that these dudes admire.
But I mean by ugly men though. But we got ugly men though. And I just learned that Nia Long has been anyway, she's been in the swamps.
Before all of that. She said it. That's why she said if they had them cameras and all this stuff back in the 90s.
But when they showed the people that she had been dating, I was like, Lord. It was a bargain sale. Man, listen. All these Holly Berry, everybody. But the point is, an ugly man is not any different than a handsome man. So just get the man that you're attracted to, that likes you. Now, I want to ask this. We've talked about weight. So answer the question, Mo. Did you answer the question? If you were in a relationship and the woman starts to gain weight, what are you doing?
I'm trying to catch it before it gets too far.
What are you going to do?
First of all, Told her to put the hot dog down and potato chips and things of that nature. You know, substitute, introduce new things. I would really try to do things
That part,
together.
Tammy, that's what I saw. Peter Thomas dated Nia Long.
Yeah.
Imagine that. I told my husband he actually had a chance.
So I would just say I would try to do stuff together, because you see it doesn't work. To sit there and point out to somebody, you don't want to be mean, but it didn't get there overnight. There's a process. Hey, babe, what do you think about us joining this? I don't know,
fitness,
but anything, walking, something that involves cardio, and you make it feel like you're doing it together, opposed to just her sending her out somewhere and thinking like that's not cool.
I saw a video of a man that had his wife strapped to the back of a car, and she had the belt, and she was strapped, and she had to run. And then she was like, "Slow down." He was like, "Come on."
And he had a hot dog on a stick, and she was trying to chase it.
No.
Oh, my bad.
No, there was no hot dog. For me, I would do this. I would do things like in the house. Just change the way we were both eating and do it together. Because I think it's better if you do it together. You know, I think it's better. And I think
so too.
I don't think love is contingent on a person's size. But I do think when you're married, you want your partner to be as attracted to you as they can. You're not going to look the same as you did when they first got together. But I do think you try to keep yourself up.
Like you're going to feel like you might not even notice it. And sometimes people don't know till they see a photograph.
I think they notice it, because I always notice it. When you put your clothes on, you know what it is. You just may be fooling yourself, but you really know when your clothes don't fit. You know when your thighs funny together.
And you're right, because there was a time I used to always wear basketball shorts under my pants.
Okay. Why do y'all do that? What is that about?
It just feels better. I don't know. But I don't do that no more. I haven't done that in like 10, 12 years.
Look, a lot of men do that. Okay.
But I did it because I was thin. You know, and I felt like it didn't make me as thin. But once I started picking up weight, then I didn't feel the need. And it didn't, and I was like, oh, okay. And I just kept doing, and I stopped doing it.
Mm-hmm. Mackie Samuel says, no, I said it's not wrong to put weight requirements on a marriage. Fitness and wellness oriented modern men and women want their mates to be fit, look good, and to take care of themselves and take care of their health. Why are you laughing?
Now, Jay-Z said, always ready to hoop.
Not so.
And I'm not the best basketball player.
I was like, not necessarily. I agree with. I just don't know about his requirements. I think because you gotta take into consideration health and situation. Like you could lose your job and you're just at home. Yes, you want to keep your weight, but I'm just saying life happens. But so I don't like requirements, but I do think that. I think that if you're married to someone, their health and wellness should be your priority as well. So you should want to help them as opposed to, tear them down.
You make it a thing and say, I think you would look good. And you see what I'm saying? Like in this and then they say, well, I don't have the body. No, let's work. I'll work with you. I need to lose a few, or just say something and
let's do it
encourage
together.
People.
Yeah.
Don't the mean stuff. I crack a lot of jokes or whatever, but I don't do it to people. I do it behind their back, but I don't do it to people.
And that's true, Bella. We are forgetting a skinny person can be unhealthy. Absolutely. So that's why I feel like you could say let's get healthier together. And a person's healthy size could be bigger than the other person.
I've seen some bigger people light on their feet.
That video that I just played, that girl was heavier than her husband, but she could run just as fast. They were both running on that treadmill the same.
There you go.
You'd
be surprised.
All right. So moving to our secondary topic. The secondary topic is So we talked about weight. What about finances, right? In Bell Collective this season, Letitia Pearson has hit a windfall in her career. And so she is making more money than Glendale.
Okay.
I just like saying his name. So she decides that she wants to do a post-nup because she wants to make sure that if they were to get divorced, that he is not privy to any of the new money that she's making now in her career. So the question is, should post-nups be put in place if a partner hits a career windfall after?
That sounds like
years?
somebody preparing to leave.
Wow. And that's the same thing that Glendale said.
I mean, because and this is what we had the conversation on Monday. It's like, and I said it, and somebody chimed in was like, yeah, like when women get money, it's different, man. It's like it's no longer us now. It's my money. Like we were talking about, you know, how it used to be where women couldn't have bank accounts, couldn't do this, certain jobs they weren't allowed. It's like, and they want their independence, but they don't want the responsibility of the independence. They just want the independence. When independence becomes responsibility.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. If you're gonna walk with the big dogs, there's a sense of responsibility that comes with that. You just don't show up and you could do it, but I can't. Nah, man.
Yeah.
I mean, if she had it before, I could understand.
But if she had it before, then it should have been a.
Huh?
It should have. If she had it before, they would have had a prenup.
Yeah.
But she didn't care because he was making the money and she was staying at home. Let's watch this clip and then get into it.
I don't want anything to do with her money. I didn't marry her for money. I married her because of the person that she is, you know, inside, internally, externally. And now that everything is taken off, she's moving on up, right? Okay. It's a different tune, a different drum that I'm marching to now. The only thing I ask from you, I will sign whatever it is you got in front of me. I don't need anything from you other than your heart, your original heart, the heart before I broke it. What I really, 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 really beg for and pray for is us honestly giving each other a fair chance at love that I know God blessed us with. We allow so many things to come in. The devil distracted me. My bad decisions distracted me. And he also had his same fun and games with you as well. We should be good by now. You know what I mean?
In this moment, I am in agreement with Glenn. I would love for our original love to come back. Like, ride or die, the Pearsons over everything. Like, I would really love to get back to that.
Okay.
See, this is the consequence. I kind of understand her, but it sounds like she's already walking. But you did do what you did, Glendale, and this is the consequence of it.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, because I don't think she would have done this otherwise.
She wouldn't. That's what I'm saying. This is misplaced aggression. First of all,
there you go.
I put on the post, the thing that stood out to me was the fact that Glendale has put cream on white. That was wild to me. I'm just saying,
attention to the wrong thing,
because it was so shocking that it would just be a cream vest with a white shirt, and you just that's okay. But anyway,
Mississippi.
I'm saying I just was like, whoa, okay. But this, and then Letitia was like, "Is that all you got from that clip, Crystal?" Like, first of all, yes, I did, because I feel like it's misplaced. You can't do that. Either deal with the fact that you're still hurt over the fact that this man repeatedly plays in your face, but you can't do a money play, specifically when you have been a stay-at-home mom initially, because he was making money on the fish boat, right? Her foundation, you're right, Tammy. But still, that cream on white was way worse than anything. It was just but anyway, you can't do that, because if that's the case, then he should have call a spade a spade. The spade is you're hurt because he keeps cheating on you. And he probably feels a little uncomfortable, because in Glendale's world, it works for him to cheat and come back and treat you like that because your self-esteem is not up to par, because he is the breadwinner. You are at home. Once you start feeling yourself, either leave or forgive him and stay. You cannot do both. You cannot do both. You cannot stay and then try to say, well, anything I earn now, because now I'm earning more, needs to not be split. That doesn't make any sense.
That happens more times than you think. We just seen it on TV. This happens.
Well, that's why we're talking about it. You can't
on a smaller scale, but it happens.
Marital property is marital property. So what's good for the goose is good for the gander. If his money can be earned and can be used for the family, then what makes you think that once you start to get your money together, it does not go to the family as well? Like, that's crazy to me that you would even think that. I'm happy that and really in a marriage, you should be looking for that. He held you down while the son was little, right? Financially. And now that you're getting your own, that means that you guys both together should be doing better. Now, I personally think that after being cheated on as many times as she's been cheated on, she probably needs to leave. I feel like this is all just smoke and mirrors for the fact that you're hurt and you won't make the main thing the main thing. The main thing is that man is playing in your face. So take your new earned dollars and realize that you can move forward with your own life. Now, in this same episode, there was a scene with Glenn and his son. And he's talking about the fact that he and Letitia were married from the time they were together, from the time they were like 16 and 18, really, really young. I said this when I first met them, and I know a lot of people are not going to agree with me. I do think he loves her. I think they just got married way too young. I think in Glenn's mind, he's raised with a very old Southern mentality, and he feels like what makes him a man is the ability to get women. How he's able, he's in good shape and he's able to get women. The first thing he asked his son, because his son is like 12 or something, is, do you have a girlfriend? You got a girlfriend? Oh, because you could tell that's how you gauge, oh, he's becoming a man. You got girls are on you. So for him, that's his definition of manhood. And I think he needs to go to counseling himself to restructure that. But I do believe, even though he has cheated repeatedly, I do believe he loves Letitia. I also don't think that the money is what was holding her back, because for years we saw her say, well, she didn't have her stuff together. People were like, well, she doesn't have any money to leave. Now she has more money, according to the show. She's still not leaving because it's the mentality of, this is all I know, and I'm afraid there may not be anything else out there. That's really what this is about. She's afraid to leave.
Good observation.
He's afraid to let go of the fact that his manhood is not directly related to other women's attention. The attention from what he has, he doesn't value. But I do believe that he really does love her. He just may not be good for her anymore.
Yeah, that misplaced manhood is something else, But yeah, that's a good observation. I agree.
She got the BBL already.
I can't tell.
So I think even if Letitia did get herself where she was getting hollered at by a lot of other men, which she already may be, I don't know. I don't think that she would leave, because I think that's all she knows. That's all she knows is Glendale.
Thank you, Maggie Samuels. That's what I'd be saying. That's why I'd be wanting everybody to get money.
That's
so
wild.
I can see who you really are and what it really is, because you'll be surprised what people will do. And
that's crazy. Maggie Samuels says, didn't Lenithia Monique Leakes required her late husband Greg Leakes to sign a post-nup after she got $1 million contract with Real Housewives of Atlanta before they got remarried. That's crazy, simply because Greg was with her when she didn't have any money.
Hold it.
And
you talk about I can't say that's ungrateful, but man, that's why they say when women get money, it'd be different. He'd be like, what? Yeah.
Yeah. Baby Bear, that's a good point for women. It's just a good rule of thumb. Stay hot, so when you're ready to drop them, you look good enough to move on quickly. Otherwise, it's going to be a bit of a lag. It's going to be a bit of a lag while you get yourself together. You get on the Kanye workout plan. But also stay looking good so your confidence is up and you don't ever get, I think it's important in a relationship never for one person to be so reliant on the other person that they lose themselves.
Or do you think the motivation, like being single and people getting their stuff together, then get in a relationship and get comfortable. And then it was like, I saw this thing where it was like, then you wind up becoming the guy she doesn't like. But when you're focused on here and you're getting yourself together and you're moving as a single person, it could be man or woman. Mm-hmm. And it's like, okay, you want to stay in shape, you want to look good, but then you kind of drop that once you get in a relationship and you start getting comfortable and you start doing the things that you did to attract anyone in the first place. Do you think that's a fair assessment on how a lot of people move? Not everybody.
I don't think so. Because I never got with a guy and then not liked him after he started being in a relationship. I don't think so. But I know for myself, when I'm single, I start to really I focus so hard on work and probably my external that I'm in a better place. And I can get in a relationship, I did gain some weight after me and Gun Boss got together because I was just, first of all, he kept planning dates. What he did is he just came in and took up all my time. So we were just always going to eat. And I wasn't doing that when I was single. And I wasn't paying as much attention. I wasn't working out all the time because I was too busy being glued up under him. But so I think that can happen, but I don't think that. I think if a woman really likes you, she's going to really like you, right? I don't think that she's going to like the single version of you better. I don't think so.
Right. I mean, and I guess what they were saying was you were doing certain things and then you stopped doing those things that made her attracted to you. She seen you were a go-getter, you were doing that, but now you want to be up under her and you're not doing it. And she was like, I seen my homegirls man do that, and I'm not like I like the fact that you were doing these other things you got with me, and you stopped doing those things.
I don't know men that stop because I feel like a good man is usually more driven when he's in a relationship. I think it's opposite. I think women can be more driven when they're alone, but I think when a man's in a relationship, if he really loves the woman, he wants to take care of her. So if I've never been in a relationship.
That's the key. If he really, but you got to get to the really loving her part.
But I don't know that man. I never met him that where we get together and he becomes less of a provider.
But when I see it as far as men, and this is me giving advice or watching somebody else's situation. I was like, that was a fake. He's always been a bum.
He's just been a bum. He was just faking her out and making her think. I saw this story where the man, he planned to get a woman who was a go-getter because he knew he was a fake and he talked a lot, but she never saw it. But I don't think a real man who's really on his stuff, usually the right woman adds to him. I think the right woman makes a man even more.
And it was supposed, that's the whole helper thing that you're supposed to.
Really like the helper thing, don't you?
When you see, that's what the Bible said. I ain't say that.
Well, but the language is a little, let's don't just use the language and think that all a woman is supposed to do is be a helper.
No. That's why I got to say.
I'm sure it is. I'm sure it is.
I know you don't like that.
That's what like, but it doesn't say that's all she is a helper.
No, I didn't say that's all she is. I'm
you just
saying
be saying that all
one of the things she's supposed to be.
Moto be quoting scripture until ever. He quotes that scripture a lot.
You get the guy, like I know someone that met a guy that was still living with his mama, right?
Yikes.
And
how is this gonna make sense?
He moved in with you, y'all done lived in several places or whatever. And I keep saying, I know two women like this. I'm like, you never even seen him take care of himself. How did you think he was going to? You're supposed to see how somebody's living and either one or two things or three things for them. You was like, that's not for you.
Right.
You get down with his program, or you build a program together and he lead that program. But it never works if he's leading your program. That never works.
Agreed. But I think who gets with a man that lives with his mom? Who does that? It does. The Bible does say that,
because the guy that's out doing this thing, let's say we talked about the money, we talked about the man's attractive. That was the other part of that thing. It was like the women, it was saying that, the article was saying that you can't control him.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. So the woman that does get with the guy that lives with his mama in the basement or whatever it is, she has control.
That's interesting. And I want to show, I read this book.
You know the girl.
I do. I want to tell you guys something real quick before I get into my story. That goes with something. I read this book this past about 2 weeks ago. And I need to put up the author conversation on, I'll put it up this weekend. This was powerful. In fact, here's the book. I was like, where's the book? I know I had the book right here next to, on my computer because I just finished it. All right. This is called The Heartbreak Years by Minda Honey. This book, now what I liked about this book is she explained something I had never realized. The author, it's a memoir. The author goes through a situation of SA, right? After she experiences that, she becomes a control freak. A lot of times, and I talk about it in this book, Dear Alpha Female, that a lot of times you go through something and it causes you to become a control freak, right? It creates a control freak because you don't want to be not in control and be a victim again. So what she did after she had a bad experience with a man that tried to assault her, it was very scary, very traumatic. Then she started dating a man who she knew she could control. She dated a man who she knew was subpar, was not, very independent. He was dependent on her. She was the boss of that relationship. So I think it's really important when you see women that want a man who doesn't have a lot, want to do the Build-A-Bear situation, want a man that they feel like is not, will not be able to be attractive to a lot of other women, may not have his money together. A lot of times that is because she wants to be in control. And that was powerful because I had never thought about it. And I thought about the girlfriends of mine. I have a girlfriend who told me that she wanted to be the leader in the relationship. And she is a very controlling person. And I was like, wow. She was like, yeah, I don't want a man that's a leader. I want a man that will let me be the leader. And I was like, and that's a very difficult thing to find because the things that you are attracted to usually work against that. Right. So if you're attracted to a man who is attractive and has his, has some level of success, he's not going to be a man that will let you control him. And what I've learned from watching her is even if you do find a man that lets you control him for a while, eventually he's going to resent you and he's not going to keep going with the program. So but I never thought about that could come from a place of trauma. So that introduced something totally different to me. Shouts out to Minda Honey. I interviewed her and I'll share that with you guys. But this man happened to be a Caucasian man, right? So she was like, she's dated him, but she realized her entire reason for dating him was because she could control. She was the boss. She could manipulate, and she never felt like she was at risk of not being in control. So just think about that. It adds another level to that. And I know Jamal City knows women like that. I know several women like that. I know.
But that's not his problem.
No, it's not. But he needs to
get away from her.
He needs to get away from her. He needs to get away from her because there's something about him that's making him be in that situation because he's not happy.
That's why I said he got a whole nother.
He got a whole other set of problems, but their problems are they need to be away from each other. Anytime you pick somebody based on them being at a disadvantage, same thing goes for older men who only want younger women they can control. There's something wrong with that. There's something wrong with that. I don't know what that trauma is. I'm just speaking tonight about the women who are controlling, who want a man they can control, and will look for a man who is down on his luck so that they can control him. Because guess what? As soon as he starts to get up a little bit, he gonna start breathing oxygen. He gonna start acting like a man again, and then you're gonna be mad. You're not gonna say
but here's the thing, like even in those situations, the guy is, you know, because I know somebody like that, and I refer to her man as her son.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, and I'll be like, yo, you decided not to have kids, but you have one.
Yeah.
And you complain, but you never do anything about it because of the control thing.
Because it's a control for her. That's something that happened. There's some reason that she's like that. Because they've been in that relationship for
her and her sisters.
Yeah. They've been in that relationship for so long. There's something very that's but you know, my thing is that I hope that as we get older, we want to break those chains and figure out what it is what caused us to be there. I've seen that, and I never knew that until I read this book 2 weeks ago. My son recommended this book to me to read for us to do for Lennox and Parker, and I did not have any idea that women that are control freaks often, because I've been a control person in my life, but I never wanted a man I could control. I was never attracted to those kind. So for me, what happened is I was a control freak. I wanted a man who was in control, and they were not attracted to that at all. They were like, I'm not doing that. She's crazy. Like, what is going on? I'm not, like, they were not attracted to my controlling nature. So I had to tone that down. And that's why I wrote this book. But I never was the type of woman that was like, yes, I want to stay in control. And therefore I want to get a man who will allow me to control him. That's wild. But
it's funny because when you set boundaries and you move in a certain direction, you know what you hear? You hear you're mean. And I'm like, what? Like, because you set back, you're mean, or you could, I guess, sassy, they saying now, but it's like, nah, I'm just not going for, like, you checking people, or you're just setting boundaries. I don't want to see checking. That sounds a little crazy. But yeah,
But you're right, Jamal. As we get older, we realize we don't really have control over anyone, not even our kids. Ain't that the truth?
We don't say that again.
We do not. We do not, because these people are out here doing what they want to do. And at this point, mine are 30 and 28, getting ready to be 29 in 2 months. And these people getting ready to be 29 and 31, and they're out of control. Not out of control. They're good. They're good adults, but they do not. I can't make them do nothing. They have made it clear that they are in control of their own lives, and they should be. But yeah, you can't control your partner. That's why even like with the weight thing, all you're going to end up doing is making somebody resent you.
Hey, but what about the people that I've heard of situations where, do I know any? I heard of them, but I don't think I know any personally. But I've heard of people wanting their partners to be that way, so they wouldn't leave them and stay with them. That's another form of control.
What you mean? Wanting them to be what? Controlling?
Feeding them, making sure they don't lose weight. You see what I'm saying?
Oh, well, you know, there are some guys that are called feeders.
That's what I heard.
That's another example of a woman or a man that's down on their luck. I want to keep you at a disadvantage so that you'll look to me as your savior, as the only person that's there for you. And
I've also heard for him to be, he's down on his luck.
Right. Right. Because anytime you gotta keep somebody by making them feel bad about themselves for you having to spend something wrong. But I've also heard in those situations when the woman does lose weight, the man doesn't want to be with her anymore because he really wants the dynamic to be him up, her down. And when it starts to level out, then he's uncomfortable and wants out of the relationship.
Wow, that's crazy.
I've heard that a lot with people in those situations. The guys like, I wanted a woman that was like they're attracted to what comes with being with a woman that is they feel at a disadvantage.
That's
Consumer Oats does the
manipulation
same
on
thing with
another
people.
level. That's crazy.
Yeah, but that's the case. I've heard that a lot. They start to feel uncomfortable because that person starts to get more confident. They start to like hold their head up as opposed to down. And the other person, they want to be in a relationship with a person that's down and that doesn't feel confident, that doesn't get attention from other people. There are a lot of people that don't feel comfortable with a partner that is attracted to other people, which is crazy. Now,
you think you're the only one that's going to be? Come on now.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Even the people that are doing that, there are other men that are attracted to what you're attracted to.
That's a fact.
All right, but let's get into the story. Let's get into my story from last week.
Catch people up to speed and tell them the first part again. Run through that real quick and then.
Yes.
Okay,
ladies and gentlemen, it is story time.
You know what's funny? On the playback, I can hear it. On this, I cannot hear it.
Well, you'll hear it on the playback. Okay. All right. So we had we talked about this on Wednesday. We had Reggie and Aria. Where'd they go? Hold on. Where they at? Reggie and Aria got together when they were 18 and 21, I believe. Let me bring up my notes. They got together when they were 18 and 21, and they were pretty much equally yoked at that point. Hold on. Yes, 18 and 21. Now they are 37 and 40, and of course they have been married for 13 years. So what has happened is over that time, Aria went to college and got her degree. I think she got a secondary degree. She has gotten a job in a corporate company, and she is doing pretty well. She is the breadwinner. She makes more. She's not the breadwinner, but she makes more money than Reggie, right? Reggie has a construction business. However, Aria is the one who did all his paperwork and basically kind of oversees it's in her name. She does all the paperwork for everything, and then he does the actual, labor. He does the hard work. The house that they have, they bought a house. The house is in her name, under her, credit, probably because her job, she makes more money. And her job is the more consistent one because he has his own business. Lately, she has become overwhelmed because they have 2 children, and she is actually they have 3 children. She is taking care of the children. She goes to work. They both go to work, but she has to be the one to come home, take care of the children, talk to the teachers if there's anything with parent-teacher conference, all that kind of thing. Any type of decisions being made with the family, the ball is in her court. She says that she makes all the decisions about what they're going to do next, what schools the kids are going to go to, where they're going to live, what is their future. She is everything. She's the one that picks everything. And said he relies on me for everything. He asked me how to do the simplest things he could easily figure out or look up himself. And she realizes that she initially kind of fed into this because she did all that, and maybe she never encouraged him to do it on his own. But at this point, she feels like she has 4 children instead of 3, and he is one of those. Another issue is that I did say, Tammy, it does feel like Melody and Martell. Another thing that she has a problem with is that he is very demanding physically. So when she comes home after she finishes work, the kids, he wants to be all up on her. He doesn't allow her any downtime for herself. And then he doesn't understand when she's not reciprocating that. What we talked about last week is that he probably is a physical touch and quality time person, and she just feels overwhelmed. And so she just wants time to decompress and breathe. She does love him, and he does love her. There has not been any infidelity in this situation, but she feels like she has a child for instead of a partner. She feels like she's outgrown him because he's still, when they first got together, he was doing construction and he's still doing the same thing. He has not grown or stretched mentally. And she has changed a lot over the last 13 years. So before we left on Wednesday, felt like she was at a breaking point. And she was talking to some friends of hers, like, what am I going to do? She was actually kind of losing like respect for him and her attraction to him, because she just feels like she is the leader by far, and he is just complacent and just kind of, not moving in any direction at all. So what does everybody think that she should do? I said I thought that they should go to counseling, because they have not been to counseling. There is a huge shift. I'm assuming that this is how she feels, but I would assume that he does not feel the same way. And maybe he has a whole side of a story that we have not heard. I'll give a few minutes for people to chime in on what you guys think should happen. You're with a man or a woman and you guys have been together for 13 years. That's a good amount of time. You have 3 children. That's a good amount of children. And the person has not grown. You feel like you've grown apart. You've grown in 2 separate directions. She's become this big corporate exec that also has to come home and cook and take care of the kids. And he is still in a stagnant place of working his business. But without her, that business would not be able to really, function. She doesn't have to do everything every day. But if he does get a new client, she still does all the paperwork for his business and everything. What do you guys think?
I'm with you with the counseling. I think it sounds like he was a mama's boy, and those guys are used to their mom women doing everything for them. Maybe he has a lot of women in his family, they cater to him and whatever. But I like the counseling thing.
I think so too. The thing about it is you got a lot of good raw material. They're still attracted to each other. They have 3 children. The children are in a safe, stable, like it's a good thing. But I also do understand if one person is very unhappy. I always feel like unhappy spouse, unhappy house. So if one person is very unhappy, there is a problem, regardless of who it is. You can't say the marriage is okay, because a lot of people are like, oh, well, there's not a problem. The only problem is her. No, if I have a problem, then we have a problem, because if one of us is unhappy,
you should think like that. You should think like that.
I don't believe happy wife, happy life. I believe happy spouse, happy house. Both people need to be happy. If the husband is miserable but the wife is happy, that's not a good marriage. That's a miserable marriage that's dysfunctional. And if vice versa, if the husband is happy and the wife is miserable, like in this situation, that's not okay. So I think they should go to counseling. I will tell you all what happened is Aria talked to some of her girlfriends, which is how I became aware of this situation. And the girlfriends, most of them were single, and encouraged her to leave her husband. You deserve more. You're at a different place. You left him behind. Y'all grew apart, girl. You need to go. Aria took their advice.
You rotten.
She has filed for divorce. It blindsided Reggie. He did not expect that was going to happen. And she is in the process of getting a divorce and,
You didn't even try to work it out with Reggie Ray.
She didn't want. She said at this point she's not attracted to him. She doesn't respect him, and she doesn't feel like there's anything for her to fight for, because he's not going to change. When she asked him, did he understand what she was saying? He doesn't get it, and she did not feel like counseling would work. According to her, there are no other reasons. I mean, that's a big reason, right? She feels like she's pulling the entire weight of the house by herself.
Another man.
No, it's not another man. It's not. I do know that. It's not another man.
Ain't a woman with that kids and got a situation like that, and the man's making money. just up and leaving unless she got
It's
something
not-
else to fall back on.
That's not true, Mo. That's not true. I'm telling you,
I
the
can't see
situation
it.
is not that. She is.
Then she been left then.
She
In her
maybe
mind,
she
she's been
emotionally
left.
that part. I do agree with that because what happened is they're in two totally different worlds, and she said that they don't even fit anymore. So she's in a corporate job where she has a different set of friends. They have everything has grown in two separate directions, and her friends don't respect him. Now, I personally think that she's going to regret this years later. You have a person that you have 13 years in with, you got a lot of skin in the game, and you've allowed, this did not happen overnight. This happened over a period of time, but it just now became something that she's disgusted by. I think a lot of
never came up.
I think a lot of it was the friends that were very
brunches.
Brunches. Well, the women at work and the women that she's around that she went to college with that are saying she deserves better. Because a lot of them are saying you deserve a man that's on your level.
But they're single.
A lot of them are single. Yeah. Yeah. I think she's going to regret it. And I think that a lot of people, there was a post that you sent me that was saying there's a lot of times women regret divorce because statistically women are the ones that pull the plug on the marriage before men don't typically file for divorce as often as women do. It's very disproportionate in who leaves. And you sent me that post. I couldn't find it today. But it was like a lot of women regret after the fact because you get emotionally charged up by other women or even by allowing your emotions to, lead. And then you don't think because 3 children, not saying that you should ever stay with somebody because you have kids with them, but this is not, to me, it's not a situation where the kids will be better off because the only issue is he's not pulling his weight. I think you have to teach, and also she has to take responsibility, which I don't think she has. You have to take accountability for creating this monster. If when you first started going to school, you were like, hey, I need some help. I need some help around here. But when you let it get to this point, now you have created this monster and the monster is too hard to
It seemed at some point catching it early, it could have been physical, or you could have put in your 13 years at, what do they say, the 7-year itch?
7-year itch, yeah.
At some point, but to get here and not have the, oh man.
And I think, you know what, it's crazy. I'm going to say this, I agree with you guys. It is crazy that we do, if this was reversed and the man started out struggling and then he started making a lot of money, we would look at him like he was crazy if he said he was leaving his wife because he outgrew her. We would think he was, I don't think men would encourage a man to leave his wife because she had not, his job put him in a different space. I don't think that. I think that's what we tell women. And I think a lot of times it's other women that are single who don't understand the value of a man is not directly in his checking account and his ability to earn. Sometimes it is, as long as he is earning, he needs to be earning, right? And he needs to be earning conscientiously. But if he is earning conscientiously and he is loving you and respecting you, that is huge, right? And I think people go through, even though 13 years is a long time, it's not in a lifetime. So you would have to, it sounds like they didn't really have any problems until now. And the problem is because of what her job has introduced her to and afforded her, that's a problem. I think when she was first starting to do the paperwork for him, she should have said, hey, you're going to have to learn this yourself because this is too much for me to have to do this and do what I'm doing. Hey,
isn't this just like we just talking about Bev Collective?
Yeah.
When old girl,
it does sound kind of like
move that. Up. Like this is,
yeah.
And I don't know how many brothers heard this, but you hear this about when she it's different.
And I don't think that's marriage. I think marriage is when I'm up, I pull you, and you can take a little bit off while I'm getting myself together. Okay, now you're up. Now let me try to take a break and get myself like it. I think you go in waves, you know, like so that you guys can. The ultimate goal is to be together at the end.
I'm glad you said that. My son's mother, don't do nothing, just go to school. I got everything.
Mm-hmm.
She got degrees and with school. That's when everything went crazy. I'm telling you. That's the reason why I am the way, because I lived it. I've seen it. Don't do nothing. And man, listen.
Men will do that really quickly. Like tell a woman, take care of yourself, do that. But I think as a woman, it's our responsibility to also be supportive and then to find out where that man needs support. In this situation, I really wish that she would have considered at least communicating with him, because if he hasn't cheated and he's been respectful, he respects his marriage. And I think he would have made some effort. I also think he really did not know. Sometimes people don't. If you were raised a certain way, you may not know what is expected of you. There are a lot of men who did not see a man interact.
You are on fire tonight. Yes.
Yeah.
It's not a bad person. He just doesn't know.
He's never seen it. And if you tell him, then he would be open to it, and the two of you could try to work together. Because somebody said, I think Monique said, good luck to her trying to find a caring, mature, earning Black man today. This period, good luck to anybody leaving them that thinks they can trade up, or that there will not be some type of sacrifice in a relationship. You don't have a relationship with your kids. See, her kids are still young. When her kids get older, she will realize that your kids will disappoint you. You cannot leave your kids, you know. But if he's not trying to, if he's trying, I don't think that she should have left, but she did.
Oh, man, that sucks.
And it's going to take her to go through dating, getting disappointed, and realizing what's out there and the reality of life, to realize you don't get 100%, just like you aren't 100%, because we don't know what his side of the story was. So he probably has some things about her that he didn't like, you know, or that he had issues with. A lot of times men just don't voice their grievances. They just kind of, you know, accept. A lot of times men understand that she ain't gonna be perfect. Women are more like, I want him to be perfect. I will say that. Women, we kind of I want him to be tall, buff.
Because they already have the mold before they have the man.
That's true. That is true. So that the story did not end well. Sorry, guys, but
damn it, man! I thought it was gonna go to counseling. Damn it, man.
They did not. That's what I wish to happen. I am going to be reviewing Married at First Sight this weekend. There are several horrible cases on this season, but one of them is it's a Black woman who's very accomplished, and she's very not nice to the man that they present her with, even though he's successful, because he doesn't look like what she's attracted to. And it's another example of a woman being very just not nice to, like, if you signed up for a show where you know somebody may not look like Denzel Washington. Very few people do. But if you knew that was a possibility, why would you treat him unkindly and be, you know, kind of hateful to him?
You don't have to like him, but you don't have to be nasty either.
You don't have to be nasty. She's very, So I'm going to be getting into that. But yeah. Now, guys, I don't have the clip because I accidentally just deleted it. But I want to remind you guys before we get out of here, because I see some people have already left. I want to remind you guys that July 31st, we are starting.
31st.
Put a ring on it. Cheat Hab. We're here Wednesday and Friday as always.
The show comes on at 9. We're coming on directly after.
And we're getting into it. No holds barred. Don't come with feelings hurt, because we're gonna have to be no holds barred. everything out, because these people are going on a show to see if they want to get married, and they all have cheated. That's the gag.
Oh, this is gonna be good.
Everybody has cheated. I told you guys first. Everybody has cheated, not just the men.
Right.
Everybody. It's equal opportunity BS across the board. So, yeah. I don't know how this is going to work, but we're going to get into it. Put that on your calendars. Mo and I I'm going to get us a thumbnail so we can advertise. We need all the XO family in the building for the premiere on the 31st, which is not this coming Friday, but the following one. We got to get into it. It is not next Friday, but the next is Put a Ring on It. It's going to be good. The inside scoop is everybody. So we can't be like, it ain't going to be more men. We're not going to be down on the men.
These are all cheaters.
These are all cheaters. And everybody getting it. Everybody's getting it. I hope they come on the show, but everybody is getting it. Please put it on your calendar. We got to be here in our pajamas, ready to go.
Sneaky suspicious this is going to go right into Ready to Love. That's just my thought.
I think so too.
Ready to Love Chicago.
Ready to Love Chicago.
I think they're going to start running the ads on this show.
Yeah, at the end of this.
Towards the end.
This is going to be that one though. It's called Cheat Hab. I'm going to be talking to Stacey J next week, who is the host, who was the host on the last Put a Ring on It. But that Put a Ring on It, they got rid of it. They came back with Cheat Hab. This is going to be some foolishness. It's going to be, this is definitely going to be way better. Way better. But you guys, we will see you next Wednesday where Mo will have the next story. Hopefully we'll get a positive, or at least, I don't know.
This one is kind of weird. It's short, but you'll see.
Okay. All right. Well, we love you guys for watching. Y'all have a good weekend. Mo, What you doing this weekend? What you got planned?
Me and C Boogie are working tomorrow. Yes, it.
Okay. And I'm gonna call you. Call me on your break because I gotta ask you about what we're getting so we can get into that. What we got coming up. But all right, y'all. We love you guys for watching. XO Mimi, thank you so much. Good night. Y'all have a good weekend. We'll see y'all back here on Wednesday at 8, Dating Diaries.
Do you have a dating deal breaker, disaster, or dilemma? Let's talk about it. Welcome to the Dating Diaries.